This is the Cremator, sold at Spirit Halloween for the 2024 Halloween season, and he retailed for $200, which is a little bit on the pricey side, I think. And I'm super curious to know why it was set at that price. The Cremator resembles some sort of figure dressed in a black cloth and appears to have some sort of power like eternal flame, as his orange fire and ice lights project through his clothing, which I think is actually pretty cool. And then there's like a cloak that is underlying the black fabric that really captures that light well. But it is here that the debate against if he's an animatronic or not begins. In a recent post, you all voted on if the Cremator was an animatronic or a static prop, and it was a landslide victory for static prop. I guess I'm in the minority here, and I'm gonna try and defend my position throughout this video. Alright, trying something new here today. I know I usually am like, I'm not reading the stories, but actually we're going to today. I just think it'd be funny, because some of them are very funny. Very. It's an industry secret that some funeral homes don't use a machine to burn the dead, but instead they call the cremator. Okay. He has a true passion for small businesses. Well, that's very nice of him. And helps them cut incineration costs by providing his services free of charge. Wow, he is really nice. He's just like, let me in and I'll do it for free. Like, you like look at him and he's like so intimidating, but no, he's just a very nice person who really likes to help out the small businesses of this country. It's very patriotic, I think. It's very patriotic. It's a bargain, really. He disposes the body and offers ash back in return. Wow, so caring. What goes out unspoken is the real fee the cremator collects. His clientele wouldn't question exist if he thunk. What is this? I think I messed up here. His clientele wouldn't question exists. That doesn't even make sense. Moving on. Before he unleashes his unholy flames, he devours the last remaining pieces of the soul. What a sight that is. Just imagine. Depending on the person, the soul remnants can taste like fine wine or a spoiled gallon of milk. All I think of with that sentence is that SpongeBob episode.
And check out the workmanship on the jaw mechanism. Remarkable build quality.
Where the souls were just like orange soda that were left out in the sun. And then Patrick's like, I thought it was a little flat. He's like drinking his soul, but okay, anyways. But again, the cremator doesn't dine and tell. That's great. I mean, you gotta give it to the spirit people for coming up with some sort of like story for a black clothed animatronic thing. I think it's pretty good. I think it's fine. Yeah, good story. Alright, let's break open the cremator here. I got this one from Spirit Halloween at the 50% off sale. It was a store display, so it was pretty worn out already. I actually had to replace one of the motors on him because it just stopped working. It was locked up when I got it. So let's just bring it down on the side here and pull everything out, and we can take a closer look. So here I have his instructions, and see, like, someone like took a bite out of them. They're all ripped up right here. No big deal. Got some of those special clips to keep the wires organized. Here is the skull that he's holding. It's a pretty thick plastic. It looks very nice. See, the hands are their own plastic, and I love the paint job on it. It's a nice, like, smoked, like, charred skull, and then it's got some plastic like shielding for the eyes. Next up, we have our main piece itself. This is the thing that takes up most of the box, and this is just like him. This is him. It's all like a plastic like armature, which is pretty cool, and it just makes its shape look as realistic as it can be. Here we have some leg pole or arm poles. Control box right there, very typical. It says the cremator on it. And here is what makes him an animatronic. You have these fire and ice lights that do have motors in them. There's a motor that spins around the lights to make it like a fire and ice piece. More support poles and the base right here, again with another fire and ice motorized light. And that's everything that's in the box. So let's set them up. So here we go with this base. I know a lot of you in my little poll that I did was like, this is definitely a static prop, but I gotta disagree. I gotta say it's an animatronic. I mean, Spirit Halloween themselves lists it as an animatronic on their page. I mean, if they're calling it an animatronic, that must mean it's an animatronic, right? I think the conception is that it's a static prop and that what causes the lights to flicker or to give that effect is actually just like a projection of lights, but it's not. It's actually like it's like an analog like motor thing that is causing that to happen. And even though it doesn't look like he's visibly like doing anything like head turn or arm movement, well, there's still motors that are making animation. It's animating the light, because if that motor didn't work, it would just be static, and then it would be a static prop. But it's because of those motors, he is an animatronic. Lock that in. Then you have his base. It's very generic, really. Then we take the last support pole right here, and I'm just gonna plug in the stuff right now. But here we go, over the top, and this just like locks into place. It's a very quick setup, I'd have to say. This was actually one that I really wanted at the beginning of the year, but I just couldn't pull the trigger on the $200 price tag. So when I saw it on the half off sale, I knew I had to get it. I think it's really cool. I just like his persona that he puts off. You just snap lock that pole. The poles on his arms are kind of funky. It's probably the little hardest part to put together on him, actually. And while we're on the topic of just statics alone, I really wish Spirit were to bring back more statics and really focus in on detail rather than movement. I think I'm in the minority on that, to be honest, but like the vintage Spirit Halloween items from that of like 2007 and 2009, that area, I thought was just so cool and just something I definitely want to see come back. And his like support poles for his arms are like really small. I'm also just going to take the Velcro pieces and hook them in. So now that he's all put together, the last thing that you got to do is like there's this white cloth material that has Velcro on like double sides right here. Let me just run my finger and open that up. And this is supposed to actually go under the pole here, under the base pole, which is kind of difficult to do. Yeah, something like that. And then you just drape the cloth over it, and it looks really nice. And then something that people seem to forget, and I think is the most important thing, is to that really drape the black cloth around and make it look like how it is in the picture. It like comes out a lot, actually. So there he is, all set up. You can see how tall he is. I'm about 6'1", 6'2", and this one is still towering over me a little bit. He barely fits in the frame, and I just think he's so cool and just a lot bigger than what you would expect as well. I think where they put him in the store doesn't really do him any justice. He was kind of just cramped in there, and people didn't really get to see the full effect of him, especially at the bottom with his cape, or what I think it's a cape. I think that thing is really cool, and making it all draped out like this really makes him look more intimidating as well. Alright, so he's all set up. Let's check him out. I have him on one of my remotes. You can see his sensor would be right here, but like I said, that cap, that like protective cap has come off. I'll probably just have to like glue it back on. But for now, it's just there, it's fine. But let's see how he works. I don't know how well he's gonna look like in the day. And this is the problem with him. He probably didn't sell that well due to the fact that like his main thing is his lighting and stuff, which is really cool. But at the daytime, it's hard to see. I know they had it under like a tent and stuff, but still. It's a really cool effect.
The darkness you will find me.
But I'm gonna cut through a nighttime like demo of him and we're gonna see what he looks like in the night with some lights on him. I think he looks way better, because again, lighting is the real thing of this guy.
Cross the threshold where the dead walk free. Enter, and in the darkness you will find me. Step into the shadows with me, mortal, where the boundary between life and death blurs, and the night holds its breath for you. I am the scorching wind that whispers of your demise. Surrender to the flames and let the ashes carry you to unseen realms of the underworld.
Well, there you have it, 2024 Spirit Halloween Cremator. Was my argument good enough as to why it's an animatronic? Let me know down below in the comments. I'm sure there will be a lot of them. But on a serious note, I do think this animatronic was one of the better ones of 2024. I think a lot of people slept on him as well. He kind of went under the radar for a lot of people, I think. That might be because of the price. $200 seems like a lot for him. Like I said, I'd really like to know why he is $200, but I really do like his appearance. I think just the whole unknowing is what makes him so creepy. I have a fear of the unknown, so maybe that's why I kind of like him so much, just because of the fact of the eeriness of not knowing. I think the effect of the flames was really well achieved. I love that they had the white under the black to let the light really reflect onto it. And I think the final effect is amazing. I also think another reason why he might have flown under the radar was because of the fact of where he was positioned in the ISE this year. I know he was under the tent, but it didn't really make that much sense. And a big thing about him are his lights. So if the area is well lit, people aren't going to really notice his lighting. So I feel like if he was in like his own scene, maybe like on a side thing, where it was like totally a different theme. I really wish that Spirit Halloween went back to just doing like 3 different themes. I think it's okay that they kind of make the back theme and the front theme the same, but I really like the idea of having just 2 completely different, or even 3 completely different themes, and then putting all the props that like maybe fit in the graveyard in the graveyard. Anything that looks like a circus could go in the circus instead of just randomizing everything. I'm sure there's marketing aspects as to why they do what they do, but that's just my like perfect world scenario. Just have different themes for the different props. He would look cool in like a dungeon or something where like there were the flame lights behind him and like chains and shackles. I think that would look really cool for him, and perhaps maybe more people would have bought it. I don't even know how good or bad he sold this year. But those are my thoughts on the Cremator. Honestly, one of my favorites of the year. Let me know what you guys think. If you like this video, please consider subscribing. I'm trying a little different formatting on these videos in 2025, so we'll see how they go. Let me know and give me some feedback on that as well. But that's all for me today. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.